By now, it's well known that some pooper scooper businesses can earn hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, literally scooping up dog poop, and others can even earn millions. But what can you reasonably expect to earn in your very first year of business as a professional pooper scooper? This video, I'm going to go over our first year in the industry, tell you exactly how much we made down to the penny, and also share with you some kind of crazy stuff that happens when you start a business. So stay tuned. For those who don't know, my name is William. I'm the president of a seven-figure pooper scooper business in the Pacific Northwest and the founder of the Poop Scoop Millionaire community on School. Today, I'm really excited to share with you guys why we got into the industry in the first place, some of the big business takeaways we learned that enabled us to triple the size of our dog waste removal business in year 2, and ultimately, how much money we made in that first year. So stay tuned, guys. So to begin, I'm going to share with you guys the story of how we started our own pooper scooper business back at the end of 2020, and it was right smack dab in the middle of COVID, so it was kind of a scary time to start a business, but looking back, it's also one of the best times to start a business. So for those who don't know, my professional background is actually in digital marketing. I used to have a small digital marketing agency. I used to work for a bigger agency servicing all the biggest accounts in our region, and I began to realize that I make way more money if I actually own the company rather than just doing marketing company. So at that time, I had partnered with another home service provider, actually an electrician that had been an electrician for 30 plus years, and we started an electrical company, and we were able to scale that from 0 to 7 figures in about 5 months. And as that was happening, my good friend Levi that I grew up with right down the street, we went to elementary school, middle school, high school, I mean literally just a couple blocks away, saw what was going on at the electrical company, and he wanted to start a company too. Did a lot of brainstorming on what type of business that we should start, because both Levi and I, we were not journeyman electricians or plumbers or HVAC techs or anything like that. And at the time my wife was pregnant, she had hired a professional pooper scooper for our own house, and they really were not doing that good of a job. So we kind of looked at each other and we said, hey, let's give this a spin and see what happens. And we went into it not knowing how to do literally anything. Levi didn't even have a dog. He never really scooped poop, so he was literally out in his backyard timing himself scooping rocks. So looking back on it, it sounds pretty crazy, but when you don't know, you don't know. You just got to get started. We quickly realized that this business did have some merit, as you guys will find out, and the year that followed was full of ups and downs. It was just a total roller coaster. As I'm sure many of you guys are aware, scooping up dog poop's not that popular of a topic, so if you are enjoying the pooper scooper content, it means a lot to me if you like the video and subscribe to the channel so the YouTube algorithm knows to push this out to more people. Thank you guys so much. Now that we knew which business we wanted to start, it was time to actually figure out how to start a pooper scooper business. And if you guys haven't guessed by now, we had no clue what was going on. I mean, Levi was literally scooping rocks for time. At this point, I want to give 2 big shout outs to the people that helped us out the most when we're getting started. And number 1, that'd be Erica Krupin's YouTube channel. Without her, we would have been even more lost than we were when we were starting. And number 2 is a big shout out to Sweep and Go. It's the only industry specific pooper scooper CRM. And we were able to basically onboard ourselves on that software, get a free trial, and see how other companies were setting things up, because Sweep and Go follows all the best practices. So we're able to figure out how routing works, how billing works, kind of all those technical details, what kind of upsell opportunities there were. And we were really able to start reverse engineering the business based on those things. So aside from that, we went over all the other kind of basics. You go and get your business license, your EIN number, you get a buy-sell agreement, you get your business bank account, just kind of all the standard stuff that you'd get at any business. And aside from that, it was really just gathering as much information as possible from Sweep and Go and Erica Krupin's YouTube channel. Now that we kind of had an idea of how to run a pooper scooper business, and we had all the legal structure set up to actually operate that business, it's time to go out and actually try to start getting customers. And at first, my expectations were not very high at all, and I actually wasn't even that involved in this process. My goal was to make like an extra $1,000 a month, nothing too crazy. And Levi really went hard and grinded out, posting in free buy-sell trade groups on Facebook, door knocking, handing out door hangers, visiting all the vets with business cards. And after about 4 to 6 weeks or so, he was able to grind out around 20 recurring customers. That's when I started to think that this could actually be a legit business. So with my background in digital marketing, one of the first things that I did was look up the search volumes in the area. And my electrical company, there was over 1,000 searches a month for keywords that were applicable to that business. Pooper scooper industry, there was maybe 10 to 20 searches a month. So I knew that Google, which is kind of the bread and butter for most home service businesses, wasn't going to be the best method to get customers in the dog waste removal industry, and we had to find a way to get our message in front of those dog owners that might be interested in the service. So that time I flipped on some Facebook ads. What happened next was pretty life-changing, to be honest. So at the end of 2020, we maybe made a couple $1,000s, nothing too crazy. But as we got into 2021, I'm going to consider that our first full year of business, things started to get crazy. It's part of the story I like to call striking gold, because that's pretty much what happened. As soon as I flipped on those Facebook ads, the floodgates just opened, and within 3 months, we went from around 20 customers to over 350 customers paying us on a recurring basis. That was awesome. I was spending maybe $6 to get a lead. We're closing 1 out of 3 of them, and each customer at the time was worth $1,200 to $1,500 lifetime value. Looking back at those numbers now, which is basically like printing money. I was getting ready to mortgage my house just to dump more money in ads because that return was so insane. But at the same time, as we got all these customers, we started having other issues. Obviously, Levi can't clean for 350 customers by himself, so we had to go out and start hiring. And we basically started off by hiring family and friends, anybody we knew, trying to get them out there fulfilling the service. And that went pretty bad in one instance, and then in the other instance, it went pretty well. Hiring family, probably not something that I would recommend. Aside from that, the next issue we had was actually getting our new employees in trucks so they can actually go fulfill the service. So we took the waste with us and disposed of it at a dumpster location, so we needed to get trucks. Basically, what we ended up doing was getting I think at one point we had like 7 or 8 trucks in personal loans because we couldn't get business lending at the time because we were so new, before we were eventually able to get those refinanced into the business name. So that time we just bought a couple cheap trucks, threw our friends and family in there, and were able to start scooping. And honestly, we thought this was going to last forever. It's like every month we were gaining over 100 new customers on a recurring basis, and we thought we were going to be millionaires. We were going to get the mansion, buy a Lambo, all from dog poop. But it's actually not what happened. It took a pretty drastic turn in the other direction. And real quick, for those that are interested in how we ran our Facebook ads, I actually have a full guide in the Poop Scoop Millionaire of the exact same strategy that we are still running. If you want to check that out, link in the description. So January, February, March, life was good. We were gaining over 100 customers every single month. We were buying trucks, we were hiring employees. And just one magical day in April, May, somewhere around there, it's like somebody flipped a switch and everything just stopped. Our ads stopped working. We stopped getting huge numbers of new customers. We actually started losing some customers month over month, which we were not expecting. As I mentioned, we were ready to just dump in as much money as possible. We began to experience what most in the industry now call the summer churn. Totally opposite of what I was expecting to happen. The summertime is actually the slowest time of year for pooper scoopers. Kids are out of school, people are on vacation, people are moving, all sorts of stuff happens in the summer that makes people less likely to sign up for the service. And we had experienced that for the very first time. So being our first year, we kind of took a step back and started to focus more on profitability rather than growth during this season. And we kind of started refining our processes, getting employee handbooks, all that kind of stuff put together. We trudged through like that until about September, when things slowly started picking back up again. And as October, November hit, we were starting to see kind of a similar trend to the first year, although we didn't have a ton of data. And we knew that this next upcoming year was going to be time to hit it hard and dump as much money as possible into advertising during that Q1 spring rush, as we call it. Throughout the rest of the year, we slowly continued to trend upward as far as our recurring revenue and subscriber base went. And by the time December 31st rolled around, we had around 350 recurring customers that were on service schedule every single month. And we were generating around $28,000 a month in recurring revenue, which was an awesome jump off point for our second year. So without further ado, I will reveal our first year revenue to you guys. 2021, our first full year, we were able to generate $266,980.66 in sales. Not too bad for a first year, having no idea what we were doing. Things just got even better. I mean, now we have months where we make over $200,000 in a single month. In our second year in business, we did over triple what we did in our first year of business. So I will share that with you guys in the future as well. So as you can see, our first year in business wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Quite a bit of of a learning curve, going all the way back to scooping rocks, to watching endless YouTube videos, to trying to just piece stuff together with little bits and pieces of information we found from TRMs and blogs, all sorts of other sources. And that's a big reason why we decided to, one, launch this YouTube channel, launch our free blog at scoopstart.com, and launch the Poop Scoop Millionaire community on School, because our mission is to make the pooper scooper industry a mainstream service. And as more and more people are aware of the industry, more and more people are going to start taking it seriously. And I really think that's going to help all the companies across the country raise the level of their business, make more money, and really legitimize the industry. So again, if you made it this far, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and happy scooping.